Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. Today we're watching Spider-Man, the animated series, episode 3. No, that's a lie. Episode 4. I forgot that 2 and 3 were a two-parter, and I recorded them back to back, so yeah, episode 4. Real quick before we get started on that, if you're following my reactions to Gurren Lagann, which I will try to remember to put a link for the playlist right up here, you probably noticed that it's been a little while since I uploaded a video. Not too long, I think it's been about a week. Anyway, the reason for that is because I kind of hit a good pause point as far as where I'm at in the show. I just finished the mid-season finale. And sometimes when I get to that point in a show, it kind of ease off a little bit because I don't want it to end too soon. But that's not the only reason why I kind of put a pause on that. I just wanted to get some other reactions up to give a little variation in content. And that's what we're here for with Spider-Man. But don't worry, I will be posting more reactions very soon within the week here, probably within a few days here actually, as of the time of me recording this. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And you know a good way to know when I drop a video? Subscribe and turn on your post notifications so that way you know when I am dropping these videos. Anyway, with all that out of the way, let's just go ahead and get into this. We're doing Spider-Man, the animated series, episode 4, season 1, The Menace of Mysterio. Okay, new villain, Mysterio. Do I know anything about Mysterio? I know a little bit. I know that he uses illusions. Of course, I've seen Spider-Man Far From Home with Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. I believe in some iterations he actually has magical abilities, but typically I think it's usually like science, like illusions. And I'm pretty sure that's the version we get here. I know in the movie Far From Home, his name is Quentin Beck. I want to say that there have been other Mysterios. That's not Quentin Beck. I could be wrong with that. I could be wrong. If any of you happen to know, leave it in the comments below. Let me know. So yeah, Mysterio uses illusions to trick people, and I'm not sure where he ranks as far as Spider-Man foes. I know like Green Goblin would be really high up there, along with Venom, Hobgoblin, and then kind of like lower ones would be like Rhino and Scorpion. I feel like Mysterio, and I don't have much of a basis, it's just I feel like he'd be a step above it, but not like, no, I feel like he's pretty high up there. I don't know. I haven't read enough comics to know. I'm just going based off of... Actually, I don't know what I'm going based off of. Anyway, how about let's let the show tell me how much of a menace Mysterio is going to be to Spider-Man. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and hit play. Go ahead and like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe as well, as I mentioned before. And let's go. Click. The Menace Mysterio. What do we have? A museum? Yes, indeed, it appears to be a museum.
Call the cops. Spider-Man?
Spider-Man? Suspicious. Okay. 2 clues that he's not actually Spider-Man. 1 is Spider-Man doesn't steal from museums, and 2, he didn't say a single thing. Spider-Man is always quipping, and that doesn't appear to be a Spider-Man gadget. I'm gonna say this is Mysterio. Yeah, definitely not Spider-Man.
Hi, it's me, MJ. I'm not calling too early, am I?
Mary Jane?
Oh.
No, I've been up for hours.
Then maybe you can tell me why non-planetary masses don't exert gravitational forces.
Actually, they do exert gravitational force. But it's
I knew you'd know when to call. Why do theater majors have to take physics?
Look at that 90s
Einstein for that.
outfit. Oh, real quick, sorry, I don't mean to pause. Well, I didn't mean to pause, but to say something. I just don't want to miss anything. I think in the first episode I was asking how long has he been Spider-Man in this? if we are to assume that he got bitten as a teenager, as we typically see it depicted, he must have been Spider-Man for a while because he's in college right now, right? So he's got to be anywhere between 18 and early 20s, yeah? So I guess that answers my question. He's been probably at least 5 years.
Peter, this is where you're supposed to jump in and say,
MJ, I'd love to help.
maybe we could see a
So are they just
A movie?
friends, or are they actually dating, or...
While I check.
Okay, it's still in the early days.
Tight schedule, MJ, but,
It's kind of weird seeing a grown man just dangling with glee from a ceiling fan. It's also weird to see a grown man watching a cartoon.
Peter, look! This is terrible! Spider-Man robbed the Metropolitan Museum last night!
That's impossible. Anyone could put on a Spider-Man costume and break into the museum.
Yeah, Flash did in the last episode.
Or that! Sheer lack of respect.
Well, that I'll cop to, but I'm not a thief. Off to work.
Haha, he'll admit to the lack of respect.
Never could understand why so many people thought Spider-Man was a hero.
Why do I remember Aunt May having white hair in this show?
I cover Spider-Man whenever, wherever. Unlike you. The final humiliation.
Love to stick around for the rest.
You know, they really nailed the casting of J.K. Simmons for J. Jonah.
Somebody left a souvenir.
Hey, hold up! NYPD, what do you think you're doing here?
I'm a photographer for the Bugle.
Parker? Spider-Man's private paparazzi?
Yeah, but guess I'm a little late this time.
Hey, wait a minute! What's this?
Still lighting off fireworks outside.
That's Spider-Man's webbing. You know I could bust you for removing evidence?
Are you sure it's his webbing? Well, Spider-Man's webbing always dissolves after an hour. This junk's been here.
Got some webbing lore. I think I knew that though already.
Come on, we better continue this downtown.
It's nice to hear it. It's nice to hear it being said though.
Don't be afraid. I am Mysterio, and I am putting Spider-Man on notice. As far as I'm concerned, you're just another creep in a costume. What can you do? I was hoping you'd ask.
Ooh, the headless Mysterio man. I can't remember how he pulls his illusions off in this. Because I know in the Far From Home, it's the holographic tech.
how'd he do that?
How do you do that?
Should have known it was a fake. My spider sense didn't go off. Hero to goat overnight.
Hero to goat? Is that what he said? Is this before goat meant greatest of all time?
Involving Spider-Man.
Look at that dude.
This one at the Brooklyn Bridge Mall.
Carrying a boombox. This reminds me of the episode of Smallville where that one meteor freak character who could shapeshift posed as Lex Luthor and basically robbed a bank.
I recognize that laugh. That fake Spider-Man vanishes and you appear. I should have guessed.
Oh, there was a Peter Parker bodysuit, it looked like. Graceful. I don't think he's afraid, I think he's annoyed.
It's got to be the same place where you ruined me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Okay, so if they're illusions, how are they interacting? Oh, okay, he didn't actually interact with that.
I'm beginning to feel like a certain coyote.
Wiley? It's got to be a holographic technology, right? Projections?
What next? Peasants with torches? Well, you turned them against me. Now what?
Yeah, what's new? J. Jonah does that all the time.
I always did like a good cliffhanger.
I actually like the design of Mysterio. No, not Spidey in the water. I don't think he does too well in the water. What happens in the Spider-Man PlayStation game? Does he jump out? I can't remember. If you land in water, does he just jump out or could he swim? I think it just automatically jumps out. Ooh, that's clever. Creating an airbag out of webbing. I don't think I've ever seen him do that. Dang, he's ripped.
Peter?
Jesus.
To make sure you're still alive.
Mary Jane,
On edge much?
sure know how to make a girl feel important.
Look, if it isn't too late.
Does MJ find out about him in the series?
One strike and you're out.
But oh, that
There's so much I don't remember, all the little details.
the day I can't even keep a date because of you. Time to turn my life around. Goodbye, Spider-Man. Don't go
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna last very long.
Just because I take a picture of Spider-Man every now and then, it doesn't mean I know how to find him.
Well, in this instance, you do.
Parker, I think he's been framed.
Sorry, not my table. But what?
I've spent a lot of time trying to figure out who he is. He never turned his back when he could help, which is just what you're doing now. All those
Damn.
times you were taking pictures of him, Parker? Huh. Too bad none of his character rubbed off.
Spidey never did
Laying on that guilt.
except once. Right after I got my powers, I figured I could earn some quick bucks wrestling. I made the costume so nobody recognized me.
So he had his full costume at this point. Not that makeshift one.
Don't let him get away! Hey, sorry, pal. I'm a wrestler, not a cop.
And that's the guy that's gonna kill Uncle Ben. Yep. No matter what the version is, it seems to always be the same.
Tried to stop him, but the guy was armed, and whoever it was, I wanted him first. And I got him.
Yep.
It was the crook from the arena.
Wow, I'm actually surprised how closely this mimics the Sam Raimi version.
I lost my uncle because I ignored
Like, I know it's always the same story, but like just in the warehouse, lifting him up, taking the mask off.
power. Comes great responsibility.
There it is. We all know that line.
Going my way?
Now, after No Way Home, every time you hear somebody say that line, you are automatically assuming they're gonna die.
He said the bridge was the place I ruined him. A helicopter crash. I remember.
So in Far From Home, it's ex-Stark employee, right?
There's more. Right before the crash, I thought I saw something near the tower. It was a mortar. The special effects man had hidden it up there without getting He wanted
Okay, so he's
explosion. It was his fault the copter went
a special effects guy. Okay.
They'll arrest me for this. I will get you, I swear.
Was Quentin Beck. He
Ah,
was
Quentin
used
Beck.
for his crime.
That Beck's address? Wonder Studios?
Yeah, but
That clinches it.
And New York welcomes Mysterio as its newest and greatest.
Fax coming in for you, sir.
Dear Chuckles,
Eh.
want the real story on Mysterio and Spider-Man? Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Wonder Studios. Oh wow, he's really out for him.
Man Spidey fan club.
Suction cups.
Beck's got all the plans right here.
Ah, projections. Yep.
Beck's created a whole new holographic technology. Small, portable.
Okay, so that's actually kind of similar to Far From Home.
Looks like he was planning a major crime spree. Okay, Beck.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think it was gonna be that easy. Is that a? Well, he's a special effects guy, right? So it's an animatronic. It looks like.
Getting real tired of these fakes, Beck.
It's not all fake.
His voice reminds me of the entity in a Doctor Who episode. It's where they trap the consciousness of the TARDIS into a woman's body, and then the consciousness of that planet takes over the TARDIS. It sounds like that voice.
Next time I'll stick to the pony rides. So why is my spider sense going crazy? Now I've stepped into a Ray Harryhausen movie. Maybe it's more
We got Medusa, a Minotaur, a lizard creature, dinosaur, I guess some people call them. That's a pretty spacious animatronic. I got him in his web. It's okay, he'll be alright. He's a spider himself.
They don't have anything to do with this. Let them go. Well, Jameson you can keep. but- Payback? For what? You did it all to yourself.
Yes, that's what my psychiatrist said.
Well, then maybe it's true.
Never made me feel this good.
Okay, Spidey, pull like you've never pulled before.
Which of us is the real one? By the time you figure it out, it'll be...
I gotta trust my spider sense. Just close my eyes and...
Oh, wow. Hey, that's interesting. That kind of mirrors a moment in Far From Home as well.
Out of this thing.
did I hear a please?
Guess that's a wrap.
Ha ha.
A
1994.
Common with Spider-Man.
I
Both
was
look good in skin
an
tone.
age.
No,
He's honest about that one.
I'm sorry for hanging up on you last night.
And
Well,
I'm
I mean, he
sorry I
did.
forgot our date.
Yeah, he stood her up. So,
So I did, and I passed my test.
hey, good job.
Congratulations.
Physics is a lot like theater. I get it now. It's all about making sense out of life. Once I realized that, it was easy.
Yeah, I get it now too. Thanks for helping me make sense out of my life, Uncle Ben.
All right. Very cool intro to a new character. Not a new character, but, you know, the first time we see him in this show. Click. All right. That is another episode down of Spider-Man, the animated series. The Menace Mysterio. The Menace of Mysterio. Excuse me. All right, not a bad episode. We saw Mysterio in some mysterious things. I definitely saw some parallels between this and Far From Home as far as inspiration that they might have pulled from this. Now, here's the thing, because the animation is one thing, and then the comics are another thing, and the movies are another thing. So when I say, oh, they pulled inspiration from this, it could be that they pulled inspiration from the comics, which this animation pulled inspiration from. But to make it less complicated, I'm going to be specific when I make comparisons to the movies. I'm going to be sticking to with what I'm seeing in the show here, because that's what I'm watching right now. And also, I don't have as much knowledge with the comics and what happens in the comics regarding specific characters. So yeah, what are a couple things that were similar? Okay, I don't think he was a special effects artist. I think he just worked Stark Industries. I think he created the technology, right? That Stark was kind of showcasing in Civil War, I believe, when he was talking about how it could be used for therapy and everything. And so he must have been a scientist, I guess. In this, he is a special effects artist, it appears, which also makes sense why he would be utilizing tricks and illusions, because that's kind of his specialty. Speciality? Is it specialty or speciality, or is it either or? But yeah, he still uses projection technology that he developed, so that's similar. Another similarity between this and what I do know from the comics and the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans is the whole Uncle Ben killer scene where he went into a warehouse and he unmasked them and he had the reaction. That was almost like a shot for shot from Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. And like I said, it's probably the same in the comics, but I'm just drawing parallels where I see them. What else? There's another thing. Oh, when he made multiple copies of himself, and Spider-Man's like, I gotta trust my spider sense, or trust the Peter Tingle. I think there was that scene in Far From Home where he kind of said the same thing. You know, he kind of closed his eyes and was like, okay, trust the tingle. And he was able to figure it out. Initially, when I first saw them kind of surround him with the multiple Mysterios, I wanted him to do the move that he uses in the PlayStation Spider-Man game, where he jumps, spins around, and shoots a bunch of webs, just knocking everything out in his vicinity. That would have been cool to see, but I don't think he uses that move. Sorry, I know I'm looking here. It's because I'm just looking at the thumbnails of the episode. Sorry. But yeah, it was a good episode. I enjoyed it. We saw a little more of Mary Jane. It seems like they're still in contact with one another, which isn't surprising. They're still in kind of the dating phase, it looks like. Classic Spider-Man danding her up because he's doing Spider-Man stuff. We'll see a lot of that, I'm sure. Now, I do know, and when I say that I know something from the comics, it's usually because of my dad, who knows a lot more well-versed in comics than I am. I do know that in the comics, Gwen Stacy was his first love, and then the whole Green Goblin killing her thing happened, and then he met MJ. I'm wondering if we have any version of Gwen Stacy in this show. I don't recall, off the top of my head, ever seeing her character when I was watching this initially as a kid, but it probably also wasn't something I was paying attention to. I was probably more paying attention to Spider-Man swinging around and beating people up, because, you know, back then that's where my mind was. It wasn't thinking about like story and plot That's probably why I don't remember a lot of it too. I have, there's certain visual cues that kind of trigger memories. Like I do remember seeing, that's why I wasn't surprised to see Mysterio, because I do remember seeing Mysterio in the show. I just don't remember any what happened in the episodes. So it's kind of good though, because it still makes for kind of a first time reaction, because I don't really remember anything. But yeah, what did anything else stick out? It's a pretty straightforward episode actually. No like deeper plots. I feel like we're gonna go back to like more of the Kingpin and Smite stuff, because I feel like I've seen them more frequently when I used to watch this. Like I feel like there was more episodes that had them in it, so I'm sure there's going to be more overarching stuff related to that. This seemed more of like a quick one-off episode. I'm sure he'll show up again, because I'm pretty sure, do we get a version of the Sinister Six in this show? I mean, don't tell me, I'm just asking the question out loud. But anyway, I think that should wrap it up for this episode. Thanks for hanging around and watching it with me. Again, if you like my content, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, subscribing helps quite a bit, especially if you turn those post notifications on so you know when I'm dropping the episodes. And even if you're just popping in to watch my videos without doing anything, that also helps. Because honestly, that's why I'm doing it, for both my entertainment and your entertainment. And all the other stuff, you know, it'll come if you feel like doing it. Do it, but don't feel any pressure to do any of those things. All right, with all that out of the way, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this episode. We will see you next time for episode 5, and until then, we will see you later. Have a good day, and happy 4th of July, by the way, which was yesterday. I'm recording this on the 5th, but some people out there still think it's the 4th because my chickens aren't too happy because the fireworks are still going off. All right, see you next time, guys.